I knew that branding was really important and kept, I'm a big believer, put your face out there, get your signs as big as possible. Let those be your advertisement. When you get a listing, put a huge sign there with your face on it. People are going to recognize you.
Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Nguyen.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Today, guys, we've got a special show for you. We've got a returning guest, Clint Richey. Clint, you brought some people with you today.
I have, Devin. Thanks. So we bought some all-star realtors from the great state of Alabama.
Let's go.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. Yeah. Jaime Cooper and her number one, Carly Dunlap. So, ladies, we definitely appreciate you joining us and taking some time out of your day. And we're so excited to hear about you guys because obviously, Jaime, you and I have been talking for weeks upon weeks now. I think we talk more about tennis than we do about real estate, but but nevertheless, we wanted to have you guys on board because there's you guys have great success and
They do.
nothing but great words have been said about both of you guys. So we want to have you guys on. So Jaime, tell us a little bit about how you got into the business, what your why is, what made you get into it, and what led you to where you are right now.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having us. It's a treat for sure. I got into real estate in 2014 after a stint in corporate America, and I didn't know if I would like it, and instantly fell in love with it. Love helping people in all price points, no matter if they're buying or selling. And here I am 8 years later, have Carly as my buyer's agent, and really truly help everyone in Baldwin County and in Mobile County as well in Alabama.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. And you guys are true magic. I've seen the production numbers. We had the pleasure of speaking a little bit the other day, and man, you guys are really doing an amazing job out there. And not that people don't know how to find you, because with the numbers you guys are putting up, they clearly do, but people need to know how to find you, right? So, Carly, quick question for you, right? We know a little bit about Jaime now. Tell us a little bit about you, how you got into the industry.
Well, I grew up in the industry. My mom was a title agent for the last 20 years, and my sister's a broker out in Colorado and fell in love with helping people. I truly love being a buyer's agent. I'm passionate about helping people get into their next home.
That's awesome. So you were kind of born into this. The family was already in the business, and you thought, I got to get in here and do this because I love helping people.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, so real quick, so Jaime, obviously, Carly comes with a background in real estate. What did you see in Carly where you said, man, she's going to be a natural fit to be my number one, and I'm going to groom her, and she's going to help take this thing to the next level?
So honestly, I had no idea. I knew I was drowning. I
Leap of
was
faith.
over literally 75 deals on my own and had no free time. And a title guy introduced me to her and said, "Hey, I know this girl. She just moved to the area. She's looking to be on a team. What do you think?" And I said, "I would love to interview her." And that's how it happened, and it's been a phenomenal, working relationship. Yesterday, someone referred to us as the yin and yang of each other. She is very great with the buyers, and I love the sellers, and it really is a great combination.
That's fantastic. And you kind of breezed by that number, but did you say before Carly came on the team, 75 transactions a year
That's
Yeah.
by
phenomenal.
yourself?
Yes.
You really did need some help. And it sounds like you took a great leap of faith because you guys are doing some cool stuff now.
Definitely panned out.
Hey, so Jaime, real quick, this is one of our questions that we like to ask our top producers. So when you get out of bed in the morning, do you do backflips or cartwheels?
Yeah, like seriously, how'd you guys get to the office today? Did you drive the
I
Batmobile?
mean, 75 transactions. So yeah, we talked about this. My family's come from real estate, and so I've been around it my whole life. So I know what kind of time and energy and dedication it takes to do 75 transactions on your own. Man, that's amazing. How did you talk about how you managed something
Well, and
like
how
that?
you got there too, right?
Yeah.
That didn't happen overnight. There was some heavy lifting, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, so my first year, I really had the mentality of I need to build my foundation and really set the tone of how I wanted my business to be. And I remember my first year, I was working easily over 100 hours every week, doing open houses weekend, door knocking, and fortunately, I have cut my hours. But I really just from the beginning just really wanted to make a name for myself, and I knew that branding was really important and kept, I'm a big believer, put your face out there, get your signs as big as possible. Let those be your advertisement. When you get a listing, put a huge sign there with your face on it. People are going to recognize you. And that really just helped. And I did the same thing on social media, did a lot of mail outs, and it's tremendously benefited me for sure.
So you utilized some really traditional forms of marketing, right? Which is facial recognition. You get yourself on a billboard, you put yourself in front of people so that they're seeing you every day, and that way, when it comes time to meet and greet, they kind of feel like they already know you, right?
Mm. That is so very true.
Yeah, we
I had
know
a
a little
girl
bit.
at
Oh, go ahead.
had a girl at Home Depot recently. She's like, "How do I know you?" And I'm like, "No idea. Like, I haven't been to your checkout lane." And she's like, "I know. I see you every day in my neighborhood." And I was like, "Okay, I every day."
You're the
But yeah, it
one.
definitely
You're the one.
The
That's
power of
pays off.
marketing.
That's awesome. But you said 100 hours, a day, and that can't be, or a week, and that can't be duplicated for a long time. You get burnt out. And that's where you start to
Yeah.
realize I've got to have a better process, a better way, because you got to get some sleep, right? Like, so how did you start to build that process? We know Carly came on and became a big part of that, but did you start that a little bit sooner on? Did you kind of figure out a better way to scale that?
So pretty early on, as most agents, you come on, it's just you. You think you have to do everything because you don't have a lot of money, you're not closing a lot of deals. And so in the beginning, I did everything. And then one of my clients actually approached me and said, "Jamie, I'm looking for a part-time job. What do you think if I work for you?" Her name is Angela. So Angela is, I call her my snail mail queen. She sends out letters and postcards on a daily basis. We probably send out 2,000 plus a month, and that's her sole job. And then I guess I picked up you second, Carly second as a buyer's agent. And shortly thereafter, I picked up a tailor to do on my social media. And then, of course, I've always had photographers out there and other freelance people. But that's really my core team, and it's been super beneficial to me. And
Well,
being able to, what I love.
I think I figured it out. It's not the Batmobile, it's the invisible jet because you're Wonder Woman, right?
Yes.
No, that's pretty cool. Like seriously, and the thing is like you said, we get in and we don't always have a clear-cut plan or instruction on how to do it, and you figured out how to scale that on your own, and that's impressive, right? And that's one of the reasons we like to bring agents like you onto the show because there's other people out there and they're looking for answers and they're going, man, how do I do it? I don't know how to get started, right? And having that insight from great agents like Jamie Cooper, right? This is what gives them the ability to kind of connect the dots and go, man, maybe that's where I need to start, right? Let's pick one thing that she did with her business, and maybe that's where I'm going to start my business off and start to have that great success.
For sure. And there's not a one formula for success. It's whatever works for you. And finding somebody that complements you and getting rid of the activities that are not your strengths, and passing, always work to your strengths and your weaknesses, give to somebody else, and you'll be way more successful and happier.
Sounds really familiar to our structure. What like-hearted, like-minded, right?
Absolutely.
We always look for like-hearted, like-minded partners to work with, and we look for like-hearted, like-minded individuals to do our structure. And inside the branch, you're 100% right. It's right about having the right people in the right places.
It's the who's.
It's the who's, right? It's the who's because a lot of the times we get into the industry and we go, man, I got to do it all. It's all me, 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 me. That's not a scalable model, right? When you start to realize, hey, there's somebody that's better at this than I am, let me buy that. Let me find that person and put them in that place, right? There's somebody that's way
Sure.
better at this than I am. Let's get that over there and let them do that,
Yeah,
right?
could you imagine if we were trying to do what John does on
Yeah,
this podcast? It
yeah.
would be a
We're back here
catastrophe.
trying to do all the wiring
We
and
can't
get the
even turn on
cameras
the
right.
computer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't do these things without our videographer, right? Who's behind the scenes and making all the magic happen for us, right? So having those right people in the right places is so important. So Carly, I got to ask you a question. You joined Jamie's team. You were passionate about the business. You had family in it, and you get in there and she's already got, a kind of a way of doing business. How did that work for you? How did you join the team and how did that transition happen?
Yes. So I moved here from Oklahoma, where I was licensed, and I was on a team there, and I was looking for another team down here. And I was really looking for someone who was a strong leader and needed someone like myself, to be a part of the team.
So
Ladies, I have a question for you. Our guests always want to know whenever we have super successful realtors on, thus far in your professional career as realtors, what's the one moment or achievement that you're most proud of?
Really, for me, it's volunteering within my association. I've been a member of that probably for the last 6 years. I am upcoming president-elect of Baldwin Realtors, and really just understanding more about the industry as a whole and not just my day-to-day business and transactions. So I've really enjoyed that.
That's awesome. Carly,
Anything
what's
for
your
you?
one achievement or moment that you're most proud of?
Uh, I think it's moments where I have buyers who've been turned down by many others, and I finally get them to the closing table, and they're so happy to finally get a house. And I find that in a lot of our clients. So those are some of our biggest achievements. And
we hear that a lot. At the end of the day, I think one of the things that a lot of us do that are in this industry is, we're here because we love helping families. And, we take pride in those special moments, where you take somebody who thinks, man, I don't know if I can buy, right? I don't know if I can qualify. And you set them up with the right partners and you put all the
Mhm.
pieces together and, they get into that home and it's because of you.
Yeah.
It's because of you and it's because of what you're doing, right? And so I think what I hear you saying is those magic moments where you're able to connect those dots and get those families into the home. That's what really is the highlight for you in your career. Is that correct?
yes, it's truly an honor and I love it.
Mhm.
Every single moment of it.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. Clint?
Hey, so I got a question. So I'm a big a family person. So I've got 4 kids and the CEO of the Richie family, my wife. It's a,
Janae?
yeah, Janae. Uh, and so we talk about the like-minded, like-hearted folks, and it seems like both of you guys are like-minded, like-hearted. So Jamie, you and I have had the pleasure of talking about some of your extracurricular things where, your releases, like you play tennis and then you just got back from Florida with your one of your kiddos. So talk about your family and what that looks like and what kind of achievements
Love
they're
that.
they're into on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. So I am married and have two children, a 12-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. My whole family is very
Active.
active is the right word. Um, my 15-year-old son is a huge triathlete. So we were just down in Sarasota, like you mentioned, for the Youth Elite Triathlon, which was super cool to see all these super dedicated kids. I mean, I know my son, he works out minimum 3 hours every single day. And it's just amazing watching his drive and his work ethic and grit. Like you can't, that's not something you can teach anybody. And it's just amazing to see that. And then my daughter, equally so, she's very, very involved. She plays travel soccer and basketball and she runs. And I'm like, we gotta like maybe narrow down some things. And then my husband also, he likes to do triathlons and he works full time. It's busy.
I know you say you can't teach that
No,
kind of
you
thing, but let
cannot.
me tell you
No.
something. You kind of do though, because they watch mom out there hustling every single day, doing
True.
everything that you do. So when they see mom's drive and her passion, right, that's where that drive and passion starts, So you are responsible for that. You need to take
Yeah,
credit for that. We say take off the humble hat, take it off,
I'll
right?
take
Own that. Own that.
Yes, you're right. As a parent, we do model our behavior for our children.
Mhm.
And so, yes, you are exactly right. They see me working hard, working every day. Obviously, I'm self-employed. No one's telling me to get up and go to work. Earlier, you mentioned how do I do all those deals? It's just ingrained in me, and I make it part of my daily routine. I wake up and I text people or call people. I play a lot of tennis, probably 4 days a week, and I'm making deals on the tennis courts and changing between changeovers. I'm doing deals and whatever you like to do in life, you make it part of your lifestyle. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the passion.
Right. Hey, so Carly, talk to us about what you like to do extracurricular. Tell us about your family. What you got going on?
I am also married and have two children. Mine are boys, and let me tell you,
I hear they're easier.
they
Boy,
are
mom.
a lot. Yeah, so my oldest is 12 and he plays tackle football and the electric guitar, and he thinks he's a comedian. It's a lot. And then my youngest baby is 5, and he was actually deaf for the first 4 years of his life, and he got his hearing back last year, and he is the sweetest boy ever. He loves people, so I that's my life. I just love him.
I think we know where that sweetness comes
Is,
from.
is that
Yeah.
is that what they call mama's boy? Is that where that comes from?
Well, and I was going to say, we talk about family on here all the time because, part of success is not just making great money. It's about what you're doing for the people behind the scenes, right? Your family and your family's success, right? We don't just do this for a paycheck. We do this because we've got people at home, and at the end of the day, they're the winners of the effort that we put forth in our careers, and so it sounds like you guys, you're not just great realtors and business partners, you're great parents, right? So I love what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great story.
Well, great.
Um, so here's the $1 million question. So what's in store for Jamie Cooper and Carly Dunlap in 2023? What are our goals that we put out there?
Future casting, I love it.
Yes. Obviously, we would like to beat our current goals or our current year production, of course. We want to help more people than we did, and really just grow, I would say, as a whole and as a team.
Yeah. Any plans on how that's going to happen? You guys got a secret weapon you're about to pull out?
So as we all are kind of seeing the market, it's been a little bit slow of a market. Buyers are a little more hesitant to jump off than they were a year ago. Um, as such, we are really bringing a lot of agents in the office to help us, like at open houses. I think currently we have about 13 active listings. So trying to hold open houses to get other agents involved to pick up more buyers, and subsequently just letting other potential homeowners see us and then hire us to be the listing agent for them, and really just communicating with everybody. Despite banks collapsing and all that kind of stuff and interest rates being higher than normal, they're still under average. I mean, what average interest rates are, what, 12%? And just trying to emphasize to buyers, don't wait. Go ahead and make the leap. Get in a house. You're not going to be in a multiple offer scenario. It's just you. And then if the rates drop in 6 months or a year, refinance and get a better rate.
We talk about this all the time,
Yeah.
right? We talk about this all the time, and you're 100% correct. People got scared because they see the rates raising up, and they think, man, this is a terrible rate economy. It's not, right? It's just back to a more normality. It took COVID to drive rates to where they were, and that was never a realistic, snapshot. And what did it do? It made the market crazy. You couldn't buy the house that you wanted, right? That wasn't an option. You just had to take what you could actually get. You had to come over and win the bid by spending more money. So did you really win with the better interest rate? And David, you talked about one of your clients the other day that really paid 100K over to purchase her house. And
Yes.
was the house worth 100K today?
No. If y'all remember, a year ago, people were paying 5, 10, 15, 20,000. Every house had an offer of 20 or 30 on the first day of listing. It was just crazy, I had a client locally that paid $100,000 over asking price for a $650,000 house less than 1 year ago. And to this day, we talk constantly, and she regrets it.
Yeah. So, it's a
Yep.
buyer's market now, right? Like you said, there's less competition out there. There's less people, so you can pick the house that you actually want. Sure, the rate's a little higher than it was a year ago, but you don't have to spend 30, 40, $50,000 over to get it. So that's money in the bank, which is essentially interest savings, right? So to speak. And as you just mentioned, if the rates do go back down, right, then you refinance and you end up in a better solution where the consumer that waits, right, and the market rates do go back down, now again, everybody jumps back into the market. Inventory is already low, so there's no homes to purchase, right? And now all of a sudden, you're spending money over and you're having to hope to get the house again. And is the rate really that much better than it was right now? We're not going back to 275. That's not happening. And it's not going to be 3.25. If they do go back down, maybe we're hoping for 5.5, 5%, right? Well, that'd be great if it happens. But when that happens, if you buy the house now, you refinance it. And, Clint could probably help you with that, right, Clint?
Absolutely. Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Jamie, you obviously in your area, typically, what percentage do houses appreciate on an annual basis in your area? 5, 10%, or
So in the last year, they appreciated between 11 and 14%. And that trend is definitely likely to continue because we just don't have that much inventory. And overall, in Southern Alabama, coastal Alabama, it's relatively cheap to buy here. We have a lot of housing along the coast. People want to be by water, and compared to other parts of the country, it's super affordable.
Yep.
yeah, yeah, and so that goes back to what my point is that when I'm talking to clients, and it's even more important now than ever when your a realtor partner and a lending partner are on the same page, and they're educating the clients in regards to what
Sure.
you just mentioned, which is, hey, marry the house and date the rate. Go ahead and buy the house now because if you wait a year,
Mhm.
now the house is 300. That's 300,000. It's going to be 330, 335, 340,000. We don't know where rates are going to be, so you're just waiting. And the longer you wait, the more money you give to your landlord. But more importantly, the more expensive and the cost of entry is going to be higher to buy that house. So go ahead and buy that house now, get a good price. And if, like you said, if rates go down, hey, we're going to marry the house and date the rate. We can always refinance later on. So, and so that's a great point that the realtors and the lenders have to be on the same page, saying the same things to the buyers, so it doesn't sound like it's a sales pitch. It sounds like it's what professionals are in the industry are saying and educating them on what to do. So I'm glad you feel that way.
For sure.
Well, it goes back to like-hearted, like-minded, and
Definitely.
clearly, that's why you brought Jamie on the show
Absolutely.
and Carly on the show because they are like-minded, like-hearted. They're
Absolutely.
talking about the same stuff that we're talking about. They're educating their consumers the same way that we're educating our consumers, and they're encouraging people to buy the home that they want. And if things do change, they just refinance. Well, Jamie, Carly, we do have to get kind of wrapped up here. As much as we love talking to you because you're absolutely fantastic, we do have a time limit on these things. So, are Jamie, is there anything that that maybe we should have asked you that we did not?
Hmm. I would just say start shopping now if you're a buyer. And then if you're a seller, don't feel like you stay in the house. I mean, sell it and do something different.
Love it.
Let's get out there and let's get something going. Let's stir up some business. Carly, how about you? Is there anything you'd like to say?
I'm available.
Love that even better.
Well, okay, well,
Well,
that segues right into this. You're available. If our followers want to find you, how do they find you? What's a way to get in front of Jamie and Carly?
Our phone number is 251-605-1316.
And you can follow us on southalabamaagent.com.
And you're going to get amazing help from these two. You've been helping a tremendous amount of people. You've got a great process. You've got a great team. So you guys can trust that if you reach out to the Jamie Cooper team and you talk to either Jamie or Carly, you're in amazing hands. Clint, again, is there anything that we should have asked you, brother, before we wrap this thing
No,
up?
I mean, I think I've said some things before that is redundancy at this point, but I just love, and I want to thank Jaime and Carly for being on.
Yeah.
I want to say that you guys are even more amazing now that we've had a chance to interview than, talking to you guys on a weekly basis. And your clients are in awesome hands. So, and if there's anybody that needs to get pre-approved so that they can get Carly and Jaime to help them either buy or sell, I'm definitely available. And you can always reach me at 972-679-1028. That's 972-679-1028. Or you can always find me on richeymortgageteam.com.
I love it, man. I love it. And, Clint, brother, we know if they call you, just like Jaime and Carly, they're in amazing hands. So, well, David, what do you say, brother?
Well, I say to all of our guests and audience out there, if you're buying in Alabama, I see two ladies and a loan officer over here that can definitely help you out. Sounds like they are the go-to realtors in Alabama, and I would highly
Alabama.
Southern Alabama use them, whether it's for a second beach house or you're for a primary house. They do it all in Alabama.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, guys, we appreciate you stopping in. We're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
And if you want to find us, you can check us out at www.realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. Go find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, all your major networks, YouTube. We'd love for you to give us those 5-star reviews, and we'd love for you to subscribe. Until the next time, thanks for stopping in.
Bye, guys.